everything starts with a vision, and I had this vision of being free.
Yes, you
And
are.
yes, and that had to be broken down into smaller pieces. And in order to do that, in order to actually go to through the transformation, you get to be.
Welcome to the Inner Compass, a place to get curious, explore God, the universe, and uncover your purpose. Together, we'll dive into values, alignment, growth, and the journey to becoming who you're meant to be. Let's discover and grow and thrive, starting from the heart. Follow us on YouTube and hashtag Leader of You Inner Compass.
Welcome to the Inner Compass. We are here today with a very dear friend of mine, and I am proud to say that she's an exceptional woman that displays a lot of courage in her life, and I've been witness to it. And today I have Marie Nygander. She is a wife, a mother. She's also a transformational coach. She's a healer. She's very knowledgeable on nutrition. She has business opportunities she can share. If you're interested in that, connect with her at the end of the show. I'll provide the link. But more importantly, she's on a mission, and she is going to be talking about courage today. And she has an upcoming workshop that I'm excited to join, and it's on February 9th. If you notice there's a QR code there, please do scan it and register for it. It is free. And Marie has gone through a journey, and I've watched her grow. I've watched her gain courage, and I've watched her stand her ground, and I've also watched her whole world transform around her. And you too can also develop courage. It's like a muscle. You can strengthen it, build it, and then start building your boundaries and start being you, because you matter. Marie, introduce yourself a little bit, and if you would, tell us about the shop, and then we'll talk about courage. How about that?
Thank you so much for that introduction, William. I am honored. So many nice
Welcome.
words. Well, I am a mother, a healer, a coach, and I am here today to talk about what is close to my heart, and that is personal development. And especially today, I'm going to talk about courage. And that, for me, has been key for my journey going through this whole cycle of exploration of myself and what is possible for me. So that is something that is really close to heart and so exciting because it's transformative. It is truly.
Yeah, Marie, well, for the audience, still didn't know, we went through a leadership course, and of course, you're all welcome to inquire about that from either one of us. It is interruptive. It changes the habits, it busts limited beliefs, and it stretches you to where you can see you can accomplish things you never thought you could accomplish in your life, that things that may never could have changed was possible, but it is entirely possible. And Marie is actually, I forgot to say that she's from Sweden. So, we get the
Yeah.
pleasure of meeting people internationally, or I do, and that's just fantastic. It's just simply fantastic that we can see different cultures, experience those cultures, and live in a world of peace and not in turmoil. And that's what we're about as well, is bringing peace, and it requires courage on it. And Marie, just watching her grow and exhibiting courage. And what courage is, if you don't care, Mary, I'll define it a little bit and then maybe get your take on it. But courage starts from Latin. It starts from core, C-O-U-R, from being on the inside. All right, your inner strength, and it's the ability to face fear and doubt and adversity when your primordial brain is saying run, fear, and no, I don't trust this, and it might hurt me. And courage is the state of the heart, is a state of what you are in. So if you're coming from within and in your state that you're displaying, that means coming up bold and standing your ground and knowing your values. within your sound. And when you have the courage, it may be a little bit, but I tell you what, when you get out there and you display a little bit at a time, it will grow. And then once you start putting your foot down, this is me, I am me, I'm going to be me, no exceptions and no apology, and get real. That's what courage helps you with. And this is what her workshop's about. Please, I'm sorry I've said too much. Go ahead, Murphy.
No, you did not. What an excellent explanation. For me, courage is having that fear and act anyway, is pushing yourself. Like you said, we're wired for survival. We will choose what is comfortable. But what happens is when we accept that fact, we shrink. So we want to expand. And that's when you have to live with life on the skinny branches, like my one of my mentors says. Like, you need to push yourself to be uncomfortable and to accept that uncomfortable, not as a sign of backing off, but actually a sign of stepping forward and challenge yourself and doing things despite of. So that is my take on courage is that it's mostly perceived like something is scary. You don't want to go there. You don't want to be uncomfortable. And you can choose to do that, but then you will miss out on life. And that is so sad. And this is also one of the reasons why I picked this topic, because I could see myself shrink. I could see myself not living full out. I could see myself not taking advantage of what life had to offer. I was closing myself off to possibilities. And that made me small. It made me powerless. It made me less than. So this is like I said, the key that needs to be twisted in order for us to, or us, for anybody who is interested in expanding, like how to master this skill. It's like a muscle. So you want to be mastering the skill and identify and just go for it anyway.
Exactly. Really, what I heard actually was that we get trapped in a box a lot of times. So we make our own box and we don't realize it. And then we allow people to define us who they think we are or should be on it. And then we get into this state where we are powerless. We feel powerless, or we're afraid to make change because it might require consequence to that change. Yet it's the very thing that can break apart that box and bring freedom. We just don't know that until we exercise and see what happens. Because it's just like anybody else. We all have concern of or uncertainties about what is out there we've never touched before or knows exists. And so humanity's just wired for that, to be cautious. And to be cautious is a great thing, but it also takes courage to open the door and see what's on the other side. So that's great. And courage is a feeling. It's a heart word, like I said, comes out from the centerness of you. It's not a surface word that we use and just take lightly. So it's a serious word. Marie, have you ever associated the energy levels of a being to words before? Have you ever looked
Yes,
at?
I do that all the time. I think
Why
words
don't
are
we go
so,
there? Why don't we go there and talk about energy levels? Because
I love that. I love that. Words are so powerful.
Mhm.
How we talk to ourselves, how we talk to others, the words we use, they shape our reality. And like you said, there is frequencies to words, and you want to keep your language light, happy, and airy. Like, we want to be on the high frequencies, right?
Mhm.
So I think that choosing your words wisely when you talk, and notice how you talk to yourself, notice how you talk to others and about others, because how you talk to
There you
others
go.
is how you talk to yourself. So we want to create like a world of loving, kind words.
I agree that one of the worst things that happened to me is I talked myself horribly. I wouldn't talk to my own enemy as bad as I talked to myself. And that when you start speaking words of destruction over you, that's what happens from inside out. You end
Yeah.
up destroying your spirit, and that destroys your body after a while because all the toxins are released. And you know that as well. But words are power, and they are the very beginning of creation when you start using them. So, what words are you using to create what? And what do you want, Marie, out of life? And I know you were stuck in a place that was kind of personal and kind of defeating, but you liberated yourself because you stood in your courage and then you spoke good, powerful words,
Yeah.
refreshing, rebuilding, reconstructing your life to Marie. And from, the highest energy you could ever get to is being authentic, because that's when you get to be you.
That's
And I've seen
beautiful.
that in
Yeah.
you.
Yes, but everything starts with a vision, and I had this vision of being free.
Yes, you
And
are.
yes, and that had to be broken down into smaller pieces. And in order to do that, in order to actually go to through the transformation, you get to be vulnerable to see what you're facing, and you to also admit to yourself what it is you are facing, because we are so filled with shame, blame, all those feelings that are not beneficial for us, but they are still shaping us in the way we lead our life. So having the vulnerability to see that and actually see also that there is an alternative.
Yes. It's courage. To have courage, you need to be self-aware. That's first and foremost. If you're not open-minded to understand that you can exercise that word, it's not going to help you. So you got to realize, who are you? And the only way you get to know who you are is start being be self-aware and self-explorative on that.
Mhm.
Marie, from a man's perspective and a woman's perspective, courage looks a little different for each and every one of them, because I know, especially marriages and children like that, it takes a different type of courage from a woman to stand in that type of environment. Um, and do you have anything you would like to help or bring to the audience that might be an inspiration coming from where you were? I know you had some medical issues at one time that took a lot of strength, and you still had a family at the time.
Well, yes, and yeah, you like being a mother and being the role model for your kids. Well, of course, the father is also a role model, but I can only speak from my perspective. And I came from a place where I was, I had eating disorder, and this is something that I did not want to forward to my children, having all those thoughts and limitations. So that having that responsibility and seeing that I did not want to to forward that, I had to cut that legacy.
Mhm.
Having the courage to trust. And I don't know if you have been in that situation, but for me, food was the enemy. Food was destroying my life. Having the courage to trust that food was not going to make me any worse than, having the courage to eat, having the courage to trust that it was going to be okay. That was the most courageous thing I've ever done in my entire life.
The
And
one
I am
thing
so
that's
proud that I did
destroying,
that. I am so proud for taking that leap.
I'm happy because you're here because of it. You really are. But there again, you pointed out something important. What I heard is your association with food, how you thought about food, how you spoke about food, how you perceived your whole existence around food. In order to make change, change requires courage because it's unknown, it's unmapped. And in the mind, association is like food is something that's poisonous to you, but it's a habit. You can't get away from it. So your picture of food or word is kind of like a color within a frame. That color, that the colors are dark in it, but you know you have to eat. So you're facing, like you said, the devil basically is what's killing you in something that you didn't know. But the beautiful thing about it is when you make that change, you change the colors of the word in your association of the word. And that's root to making any change and having the courage to step out. Okay, let's redefine this relationship
Yeah.
on it. And that's, I think, what you're hitting out there with a lot of people is don't be afraid to make change in your life. And that's what real courage comes in. And it's a choice.
Yeah. It's definitely a choice. But we can, like, what we need to be aware of us also, that we are programmed. The colors are sometimes really, really strong. So we want to reprogram ourselves and make those choices and train ourselves to see things from a different perspective. And that can be easy, but it can also be hard. So
We did go through that, didn't we, Marie? Change
yeah,
your lens, change your perspective. Instead of speaking negative over something like that, change your words to positive in the same event. All right. Let's
yes,
look at food. Well, it's killing me. Well, I say, well, that may be killing me. Let's change the word to that may sustain me.
yeah.
Just
And in
simple.
my case, I felt like food is, it's going to make me gain weight. And now food for me is energy.
Yeah.
It's
It's simple.
essential. It's something that you really need in order to live.
That's it. You just said it. That's what I heard. Shifting that word to gain weight to essential. And here you are, complete shift. So it's easier than we think it is. We make it difficult a lot of times, but oh, practice, 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 and just keep the consistency. We're getting ready to close out here. You want to share anything about the workshop, what the people can expect, what some something that some tools or anything that you want to share with them that can help them develop courage?
Yes. Yes, I would love to. Well, my workshop is on the 9th of February, 10 a.m. PST, 1 a 1 p. Oh, did I get that right? I'm confused with the times. Let's say 10
It's
a.m. PST, 1 p.m. Eastern,
correct.
right?
And then for you,
What?
and your time is in
And you,
Sweden,
in Europe time, it's 7 o'clock in the evening.
7 o'clock. Okay. So
Yeah.
around the
So,
world.
yeah, it's going to be a transformational workshop where you get to work with courage. We will understand how it shows up in your life. We will go through a series of exercises and my formula that I created to understand how this all works. It's called the truth path. So this is what we're going to work through. We're going to embody this experience to really have it sink in. And when you walk away from there, you will have a shift in perspective. I can guarantee breakthroughs coming, building up on each other, and the lens that you were talking about, it definitely will have shifted when it
That's
comes to fear and when it comes to limiting ourselves in our everyday lives. Because those limiting beliefs that we carry, they are fear-based, and we get to check that.
well, limited beliefs are building that box, those walls again that you believe you can't go through them. If you can imagine, your mind is like a computer. It has a CPU memory, so the memory holds our events, in our life and our words that we associate with events, how we feel about those events, and they're historic. They're not current. All right. So we got to remember that for one. So 95% of your decision making is from your programs that were already established. Okay. So if you're getting results you don't like in your life, do the math. 95% of your decisions are getting you to that same point. And so if you don't like that, then it behooves you to start looking at why. And that's when you get to go look at the inside. And that's what Marie's talking about, is if you're having difficulty developing courage, there's a reason for that. And then when you understand that reason and associate to the event that's causing it, you can reprogram that. All right. You just think about that. And the way you reprogram is the way you start talking to yourself. And that's at the very core level, is to change your words, you change your life, and you change your beliefs. And Marie is excellent at it. Once you get into her workshop and get to know her, she is great. And I encourage you to join this workshop because it has a lot of information. It's not just coming from Marie, it's coming from 40 or 50 years of leadership that's behind her and myself, that is solid and it works and you matter. So have a look, go to the workshop, scan the QR code, join, and learn something. Yeah, that way.
That way.
That way. Yeah. So, I love Marie a lot. She's a blessing. She's a confident coach. She brings a different culture to this as well, coming from Sweden. And so just love on her, join her, learn something that you can take away that will impact your life and your family's life and people around you. Just one simple thing can transform your life. Just one simple thing. Marie, you got any closing comments before we go?
Well, thank you so much for having me, William. I love the conversation that we had, and I think this brings so much value, not only to me, but to the people that is your audience or our audience. And I just love being a part of this and also your journey. So thank you so much for having me. And
Yeah. Oh, it's an honor and it's a delight. And the thing is, at the end of the day, if it's just one person that hears this message and it transforms their life, we did what we were out here to accomplish. Just one. That's all that matters. But everybody matters. So come to the workshop. There's more coming up in the next weeks. I'm going live in March 5th. We're having an extended workshop for entrepreneurs, business owners to shift their mindset, grow, live in joy, and build the freedom they've always been wanting to without the burnout. So keep in touch. We got great stuff coming. Until then, audience, we love you. Thank you so much. God bless. We'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.